Alright guys, Mark from Gunpla Network, and today I'm bringing you my review. Sorry it's been a few weeks, I know I just had to struggle to find time to build it, of the Figurized Standard Ultraman B-Type limited release version. As you can see here, the kit is highly detailed, but there are a few issue areas which I'll go into in the review, mainly around seam lines or parts showing. As the back view, got some awesome marking caution stickers there, very small, and they don't actually look too bad considering they're on clear paper. Spinning around here, you can see the kit itself. Bare, that's all it comes with, apart from, well, obviously the accessories I've got to the side over here, and we'll catch up with those later. But just standing there on his own, I think this kit stands up really well. Just on its own, sitting in your shelf. You've got some clear, you've got, obviously this being the limited release version, it's got, instead of just silver, it's more of a rose pink red kind of metal finish there, and the standard red that Ultraman has. It's a glossy plastic. I did enjoy the build, it was really fun. There are a few issues though which I will point out to you next. So this is what I wanted to show you. This is kind of like its fun piece. It's an expensive kit, but it does come with this LED unit. Now, being the limited release version, it's meant to be more of a red, so I'm showing you with just the red light turned on here. It was really hard to film. The camera just doesn't react well to the LEDs. This is with the red light on. It does have the blue light as well that it can show, but being red clear plastic, you're better off just showing the, and there it goes as it turns off. It fades out. Hey, there you go. I hadn't waved yet, sorry guys. There, so here you go. The kit, I'll show you now around. It's got a ton of stickers, and it's got quite a few, like a seam line or a joint line. That was probably the worst part of building it. I could see where I would dislike things. The stickers weren't too bad to put on if you took your time. Overall a good kit, but here you go. These are the marking stickers. Now that's what I've got left, and that's basically because all of those go on the rifle. If you've seen the anime, read the manga, well, as far as I've seen in the anime, and the few bits of manga I've read, he doesn't have a rifle, but they threw one in. So you can pretty much make out it says SSSP, and that's the organization which runs the Ultraman stuff in the the manga and the anime. So there's your, you've got a couple of stickers on the shoulders, you've got a couple of stickers on the sides of the chest, you've got a marking sticker, a couple of those on the chest and down on the knees, one on each leg. You've then got them on the sides of each of the forearms. That's kind of like a 9-10, 9-10, different sides. You've got them on the back, you've got them on the back skirt. I don't like the back skirt ones, they're not great, I might take those off. And then you've got them on the backs of the leg and the back of the knee there. So not too many marking stickers for the kit itself, and they're barely noticeable because they're so small. The stickers, the actual color correction sticker or a some kind of hiding sticker was the biggest problems I had. You get a lot of these curved ones. Now the head wasn't too bad. You get two of the line around the side, over the head, and back around this side again. That, surprisingly, in that curved part was shaped so well it just went straight into the gap. These on the arms though, I don't like this, and if I was going to paint I would paint, but I probably won't because it's the limited release edition. That is actually a sticker on the back of each arm, and while you get a plastic piece on the side of the arm, the inside of your I guess that's a sticker as well. Not great. Not great for a 2020-2019 kit. But like I said, all these stickers I'm pointing out to you now in either red metallic or that rosy pink metallic, they went on really easily. I was surprised actually. Bandai did a really good job of the amount of stickers they've given you. They did go on. That is a sticker as well. That is actually 6 stickers on each side for the dark grey. That is something I would paint in again, because it just will look better. And there is a plastic joint on the side, but they don't look too bad if you just take your time putting them on. Alright, if we go into the articulation, the head will look down. It'll look up, but there you go, it'll pop off if you're not careful. And that's because this is designed for you to be able to get the LED out so you can change the battery. An LR44 battery, which does not come with the kit, by the way. so you'll have to get that. That head will pop off, but it won't actually go side to side. It will turn a little, but then it's not, obviously this is a person inside a suit. You won't be doing 360s with it, so you can't begrudge that. The back of the head is really cool. I like that detail piece. The arms will go all the way up, and if you pull out a little, this rotates around. Sorry, you can rotate it the whole way around, but being a person, his arm's not going to twist off. So it gives you a certain amount of rotation either way that you would expect for a person to be moving inside a suit. If you pull out from the shoulder there a bit, you can actually raise your arm, all the way up a bit more above shoulder height. And those armor pieces on top, the shoulder, do move around. Now, if we do this will pop off, I'm sure. Yep, there it goes, and popping off at light speed, the side armor piece. It only happens on one side of the kit. Maybe I need to trim that down, I'm not sure, but yeah, that sticks on there and it does come off. That's a color correcting sticker on the inside and a armor piece on the outside. But you do get a good amount of bend out of the elbow. I think it's pretty good, pretty accurate to a person being inside this. So if you reattach that, it just clips back in. There you go. I think it's just to do with the pushing it down on the inside as you roll the piece over it, and then it can go over. The metallic red you're seeing around the wrist and the sides of the wrist is a sticker, and it's just a standard ball joint inside the wrist there for the hands, which you get a few options of. Now, the sides, you can go a little forward, a little back, but remember, this was built around an LED unit inside, so you don't. But what they've got is kits coming out now called the action kits, and that gives you more movement. So you can see a horrible split down the side there, but what you do get around the knee is some kind of like showing you a dark inner armor, which would be the person. Unfortunately, around the side, you get an unseamly side skirt, and you can then see what looks like joints rather than a person rotating their hips in armor around the back. The hole on the back skirt is actually for your action base. So if you keep bending that around, the legs have got a good range of movement in them, and then down to the ankle where you get a piece of ankle armor which moves forward and allows the foot to move backward and forth or side to side, which is really cool. So that's as far as it goes up, but you can then push it down when he's standing, and that actually lends to the support of the ankles. I found if you close or open that as needed, it helps the kit maintain balance. Okay, here he is in an action pose. So this base that you're seeing is actually provided with the kit. Another part, I guess, of why it's so expensive, because you could expect to pay like up to $15 for this kind of newer action base. This guy was pretty poseable, pretty fun to pose, and I really enjoyed playing around with it. You get different weapons, effects, and just a highly poseable kit, especially with the LED to turn off and on. It makes it really fun. Now, the accessories. So that is your action base that you can see on the right, and we'll start with that. It comes with a few other pieces, but that's your connector piece. You can take all of these. It's funny with the other ones they made, you can actually just rotate and lock them in place. This, you've got to remove and lock them in place to the part you want. Underneath, it is pretty much like the other action bases, and you can link other action bases with it. And you get some effect part pieces which are still on the runner. So if you cut those out, you can then, Bandai sells these special effects like an explosion or whatever. You can stick those on and kind of have stuff going on around him. Here's the rifle. While the rifle has some detail, you get one trigger finger hand for it and a camera sticker there. For me, it's not anime accurate. This Ultraman doesn't. There's your camera sticker. This Ultraman doesn't actually carry the rifle in the anime, so I personally wouldn't be displaying him. I would give it to Ultra 7 or something. Though I like him with the swords, so yeah, maybe we'll keep that aside for later. Here's your this piece. This is so you can actually pop open the back cover, pop open the battery cover as well on the LED unit. There you go. And then it's got a piece to push the button with. Now, I'll show you about the LED. So if you push that on, there's kind of like your blue light behind the red. Unfortunately, doesn't look very good. But if you push again, that's your, and I like the fade in, fade out. That's your red light. So more for the limited release behind a red piece. That'll stay on for 3 minutes and then turn off in either of the first two modes. If you push it again, that is now just permanently on. And if you push it again, that is permanently on in red, and you push it again just to turn it off. So you've got a few different options with the LED. I would probably use the 3-minute one if you're just photographing or putting it in your cabinet, and that way you won't run out of battery or if you forget about turning it off. Like I did for about half an hour. So if we go back and have a look over here, you've got different hand options. So here's 2 open hands. Now, they're kind of open expressive, but they do serve a purpose. You can see the round hole in the palm is actually to accommodate the specium discs that he creates with his energy, and that's a cool effect part. You get 2 closed fists, and you get the trigger hand that's on the rifle. In terms of effect parts, there's specium discs that he can throw or kind of use like almost like a close combat weapon. Here's the specium ray, and here are all the different forearm guard options. So here's your standard closed ones. They're just what was on the kit before. Yeah, so you get 6 options. Now, the problem is with the guards, they say undergated, but they're not undergated enough. They should be on the inside of the part, because with this particular coating, no matter how careful I was, I could not remove them without screwing it up a bit. Second set of guards, I would say these are the specium forearm blades, and they just have a little red part which inserts in there, so you can have them active or inactive. And these 2 pieces are actually both for the left arm, which is the specium ray, Ultraman's kind of signature weapon, or the original Ultraman anyway, and this new variant. So you can have it in the, I prefer the fatter, it means like the guards kind of opened up to allow for this. Or you can use a more standard size guard, which will also accommodate it by just inserting the end into there. And there you go. Now here he is down on the ground in the kind of standard Ultraman fighting pose, leaning forward, ready to take on the enemy. This was slightly harder to, considering this is like the signature battle pose, I found it a little bit harder to get this into than I would have thought it could have been. But you can do it, and it does look really cool when you've got it there. I'll probably have him standing in this pose in the cabinet. You can use the action base to create more dynamic poses, which it's great that Bandai give you these options. I think it definitely makes it a kind of selling point for the kit that the action base, the LED, all of these effect parts are included, so you can have hours of fun just posing and photographing, or whatever you want to do with this kit. Change it around so it's not always in the same pose in your display cabinet. That's with the specium discs, and you can have him without LED on or off, and it just really looks cool. There he is in the other signature Ultraman move, which is firing the specium ray. That is kind of like ultimate finishing move. I found this a little harder to get into than I would have thought it would have been as well, because considering this is a move it's supposed to be able to do, getting the forearms, shoulders and everything around in the place to be able to get it. It happened, it just took a little bit of effort getting it there. Now here he is. I'll show you next to a Gunpla, just because that's the only other model types I have on hand at this point. Ultraman is at least 3 head heights, or an inch or so taller than a standard RG Mark II Gundam. So in terms of scale, pretty good, I guess. Here he is, guys, and this is it. This is the end of the review. What I'm going to say is, for the price, it seems expensive, but you are getting a lot with it. A lot of accessories and LED. I would say this is a buy. I would definitely buy this, sale or no sale, I would buy this for sure. And that brings us to the end. Thanks very much for joining me for this review. hopefully you liked the figure eyes. Obviously Reggie has done these. He's got Vegeta out now on the channel, and I enjoyed doing it. I would definitely build another figure eyes, probably another Ultraman, hopefully the new action series. But let us know what you thought in the comments below. Big thanks to Hobbyco. Remember to check out their website, Australia's oldest hobby shop, and keep building. Bye bye guys.